Group E, Costa Rica 2, Germany 4. For all you World Cup history heads out there, this is an identical scoreline to the 2006 World Cup opening match. Germany also won that game 4-2. The last time these two teams met in the World Cup, same exact scoreline with a victory for Die Mannschaft. I remember that summer. Torsten Frings, a young Philipp Lahm, Paulo Wanchope. Anyway, nostalgia aside, Germany. The defense was off of it today. Kimmich as a right back, I thought was an okay decision by Flick. Raum does not cut it as a defender. He was decent going forward, but at the back, he was proper suspect. I'm not quite sure what happened to Sula and Rudiger, but they've had an awful World Cup. Rudiger had at least like 1 to 2 good scenes here and there. Maybe you can give him that, but Sula was again the worst player on the pitch. In all 3 games, in my opinion, he was the worst player for Germany. I can understand why Schlotterbeck did not start because he is mistake prone and sometimes he has just as many blunders as Sula. So maybe it would not have made that much difference. See, the problem with Germany is this is a side that can be extremely good. But there's also 2 massive holes that continue to bite Germany in the behind since 2014. And it's an issue that has plagued them and carried over into this tournament. There's no pure out-and-out striker, and there's no real good quality fullbacks. The defense was a little bit shaky. Yes, Germany created a lot going forward. But we know the reason why Germany had a lot going forward, because it's Costa Rica. Costa Rica had no reason to change the blueprint of how they set up in their 2 previous matches, especially the one against Japan. And Germany, even though they put 4 past Costa Rica today, there were a lot of opportunities in that first half. They just failed to convert, and the finishing was off. A lot in creativity, but the finishing off. And I feel like this is why exactly Füllkrug had to start in this match. I understand it's Costa Rica, but I can't help but feel Flick underestimated this game. Because, yes, we saw how Spain lambasted the Ticos, but we saw what Costa Rica are capable of against Japan. They will sit in deep, they will get you on the few chances they get going forward. They will get you in those aerial positions on set pieces like they did today. In CONCACAF, Costa Rica are set-piece merchants. And you take no chances. You take no chances because you not only have to beat Costa Rica, you have to hope Spain gets something from Japan. So you don't control your own destiny here. So you have to start Füllkrug. In the end, yes, I do think going forward, this squad is more promising and is miles better than the 2018 one. But still, the downward trend for Germany has continued the last 3 international tournaments. 5, if you want to count the last 2 Nations League editions, because you have 2 World Cups, a Euro, 2 Nations League. And I'm not sure if Musiala can be the only answer for them going forward. More talent needs to step up, which I think it will. But defensive discipline is also going to have to step up. Because when's the last time Germany achieved a clean sheet? That's another thing I've noticed too in a lot of Germany's, not just in these World Cup games, but in their build up to the World Cup. They're not keeping clean sheets. And this is probably with, one of the best goalkeepers in the world back there. Granted, of course, Manuel Neuer had a couple of questionable decisions coming off his line. You can argue that the second Costa Rican goal was a real howler. But I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't think it's a coincidence that Germany scores 3 goals when Füllkrug and Havertz are together on the field. Because Havertz, even though he doesn't cut it as a striker, he plays great as either the second part up front or as an underlying attacker. but not as a lone number 9 like so many managers have tried and failed to make it to happen. Flick has to take this L. This is a big L. This is Germany's fault here. It's not just that Japan coming back in Spain doesn't matter how many goals Germany puts past, but this is not coming out of this group is a big fat L. Because Germany put themselves in this situation in the first place, entering the final match day, bottom of the group. And they had to always consider the fact that this was always a possibility that Spain was going to do pretty much nothing to advance. Because Spain didn't need anything to advance. Because of that lopsided goal difference they had in this group. And people say, well, Germany scored, they got... Listen, 3 of Germany's goals came when Costa Rica had basically came out of their shell, played way too proactively, and left themselves susceptible because they had no choice to go for it. So Germany got those 3 goals late in the second half because Costa Rica, in order for them to come out and put themselves in a winning position, because they got news that Japan was ahead against Spain and they needed Spain to get a result today, preferably a win. That left themselves open, so Germany just feasted. That's why. Don't be fooled by the 4-2 scoreline. Costa Rica doesn't come out of their shell the way they do to get that lead. Germany does not put 4 goals past them. There is no chance in hell Germany puts 4 past them. And look, Costa Rica looked tired and winded by when they took the surprise 2-1 lead. And you have to give Costa Rica credit. They showed a lot of heart. There was a very brief window in time in the live standings for 3 minutes in this match where Costa Rica were through with 6 points along with Japan. That's absolutely fucking mental. This was a World Cup group of death groupie. Big up to Yeltsin Tejeda. I thought there was a great goal that Costa Rica had on the counter, right-footed shot from very close range, caught Germany off guard, Germany pressing high up the pitch, and that sloppy headed goal in the 70th minute, Juan Pablo Vargas, Neuer makes a meal out of it, but they get it there, and for a shining brief moment period of time, Costa Rica looked like they were going to pull off the unthinkable. They just couldn't get it together at the back for about 20, 25 more minutes. So the other goals in this game, Serge Gnabry in the 10th minute, header, when Germany won back possession from Costa Rica, when Joel Campbell was dispossessed in midfield. Expected, matter of time before Germany broke Costa Rica down. Kai Havertz scored a brace in this game. Nicholas Füllkrug, like I said, he came on way too late, should have started. It's not even a Feyenoord victory for Germany. It's a huge, it's a defeat. It's a humiliation. And Thomas Muller's post-match, he mentioned that he might retire, and he's right when he says this is a complete disaster. Does Flick keep his job after this? This is now the second World Cup Germany has been eliminated in the group stage. Does he keep his job after this? I don't know.